Alright, so Lasher farming is very scrupulous. You get loot or you don't get loot. As you can see, I've had 200 gold loot in 2.5 hours. I've gotten the life stone and a bunch of herbs and a bunch of other things. People say Lasher farming is really stupid and they got nerfed a shit ton, but it's really not that bad. So, yeah. My gear is pretty much, as you can see, it's not very good loot. It's mostly tier 1 set. Some PvP for the damage. And some damaging rings and trinkets. Well, not really trinkets, mostly just defensive utility trinkets. And I'm using Benediction and the Dragon's Touch. So we're gonna start this off, and let's see how it goes. See what we can get in a run of Lasher farming. I always check the pods, because the pods have run-ton tubbers, and I cook the run-ton tubbers and sell them. Got herbalism, so it makes getting loot better. You get some herbs that normally other people wouldn't be able to get, which makes it worth Lasher farming. If you don't have herbalism, then Lasher farming is kind of stupid and not worth it. Alright, got that Chrome's Blood. Get this Dream Foil. Alright, I think I should be fine to run across without aggroing the mobs. There we go. So, I'm gonna shield up, aggro the mobs, pull them back a bit so they're all grouped up right here, and just Holy Nova them down. It's pretty good loot, so we'll see what we get. Oh, Living Essence ugly. Not much loot that time, but as you can see in 2.5 hours, this is how much loot I've gotten, so it's actually relatively good loot. I mean, the greens I sent to an alt account, or alt character, and disenchant for more money, because I mean, that's not gonna sell for 9 gold. So, maybe that will sell for 44 gold, but I don't know, we'll see. Just drink up. I use Ultra Mana Biscuits to make sure that I get health and mana back before I pull. Sometimes I use Power Infusion and Inner Focus, but not all the time, only when I think it's going to be a hard pull. And then sometimes when I pull and I don't have those two up, I use these two. Or my trinkets, I should say. Actually, that's pretty good. Sells for 17 silver to the vendor, so you don't have to worry about competition with that. I automatically delete raw black truffles, because I mean, they're kind of pointless, and I vendor the Heart of Wild because I mean, they're not really used for anything besides maybe an engineering recipe and stuff like that, so it's not really worth it. So we'll see what we get. Maybe I'll get another epic. Let's check the pods. It's always good to check the pods, because if you don't get a runtime tubbers like that, you get Lashers, which is more loot, so you always want to make sure you have full mana and health before you pull. So it's a chance to get more loot, and sometimes I've actually gotten some epics off of doing the pods and getting lashers. Alright, kill this one and see what we get. Ooh, Dreamfoil, that's pretty good. Another green, can disenchant that. Don't eat here because I have a special way to do this route. I have a special loop to do this whole pole, or all these poles. So you'll see like the best way I do it. It's about 13 and a half, 14 and a half minutes per run, which isn't too bad. It's pretty good run. But it's best not to do it under 13 minutes, or else you get lockout and then you get teleported to your Hearthstone, so that it makes it really hard to continue Lasher farming. I got full mana, so shield up, pull over here. Got the trinket up, so suck up some physical damage. Splash or pulling over them down. Some amount of mana there for the big one, so I use lower rank Holy Nova to make sure I can take him down, because majority of the time when you do Lasher farming, you get maybe one or two Holy Novas you need to use, so it's good to use a lower rank. I use rank 3 or 4. It's pretty good for, you know, just making sure you get all the Lashers down in time. There's a herb that spawns right over here. I'll show you how to get that Grom's Blood. It's pretty easy. I don't use buffs because, I mean, it uses mana, and then you have to use one of your foods or waters or whatever to buff or to get more mana, so I don't usually buff, and I don't really need it. I got 3.3k health, so about 6.7k mana. What's that? 3.3k health. Just pull over here, pound these down. Make sure you stay away from the stealth. That's Lucius over here somewhere. Got a shield. That's good for disenchanting. Now it's not actual, like, the time limit on this is not actual how long I've been running, because I can turn it off and turn it on at will, but I try to make sure it's on time. The only time I turn it off is when I go to the bathroom, so that way when I actually do the pulls and not just sitting up there on the ledge, I'm not recording the goal per hour, so I don't lose time. I usually only record when I'm actually Lasher farming. Get mana up here. Alright, let's do another pull. There is a book that spawns over here by this big guy, but I don't usually get it because it's kind of a waste. Because if he kind of pats over to where you're standing to get the book, you kind of get killed from him, so then you get durability loss. And I'll show you guys how I do the repair and everything, and if your bags get full. And there's actually Morning Glory, which is not the best water, but I mean it's better than nothing if you run out of food or water. Go ahead. Kind of laggy there. Man, those must be really common. Good thing they're not very useful. Run at the angle right here, that way you don't get the big guy in these trees. Eat right here. That way you don't aggro warp woods and you don't aggro the lashers over here. Usually by the time that you're full mana, they actually go out of distance over here, which is really good because once they're out of distance, it takes a long time to actually come back into distance, so it makes it really easier and gives you a little bit more time. We're just gonna pull right about here, turn around, inner focus, and Holy Nova them down. I do have 15% crit. If I was using my whole tier 1 set, I would have about 25% crit, which makes it better because if you crit, then you're doing 300 damage instead of 200 damage on a Holy Nova, so it actually makes up for it. And each target that it hits can crit, so when you're doing 9 of these Lashers, and you have 25% crit, at least like 3 or 4 are gonna crit every time you Holy Nova, so it makes up for the extra damage, so you don't have to worry about Power Infusion or Inner Focus as much. Eat right here. Come la-di-da over here. Face check this. If it doesn't pop, then you're good, but if it does, oh well. Now there's one group of warp woods that pat right here, but if they're out of the frame, then they don't spawn back over here. So you have a chance to get this Grom's Blood and the Dream Foil over here, and you're able to. And if you do get the Dream Foil, you can actually walk over here, and this warp wood won't spawn or attack you, and then you could just go like this after you get that pod and not get hit by any of them, not aggro any of them. No book spawn, so we're just gonna eat. Oh, I'm already full. Duh. Okay, so we got more Lashers. There's more loot. I mean, yeah, sure, these aren't Alterac Mana Biscuits aren't worth it. They're 11 silver each, but I mean, we can only hope that we get 11 silver worth of loot from these Lashers. Lasher root, 3 of them, that's 17 silver each, so it's definitely worth it. Definitely made our gold back in it. Sit right here, eat. Make sure we eat all the way. It takes a little bit of time, but you know, it's better than nothing. Better than face checking and dying. Want that. This is best for Holy Priest because Holy Nova, of course. Mages can do it under like maybe 8 or 7 minutes, so they get locked out. I had a friend that was doing this, and they would get locked out for like 30 minutes or something, so they would have to wait 30 minutes to geo pull or do another run, or maybe it was 40 minutes, something like that. Man, these Heart of Wilds are kind of a pain. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what I do when I want to repair. So I take off everything that has durability. And you need the key for this, so make sure you get the key if you want to do this strat. But it's really good to reset your inventory and kind of just if you want to vendor the items instead of actually like, I don't know, disenchant. So it's good if you want to vendor all the greens and the blues and stuff like that. So you just die. Then we just auto run. And what you're going to do is you're going to auto run into Dire Maul North, because once you're in Dire Maul and you're in the instance, You're able to zone into the other dire malls, west and north, without having to worry about whatever, and I think it's the same instance, so vendor all the greens and stuff like that, and you want to save inventory space. And I vendor the Heart of Wilds, which is really good because, I mean, the Heart of Wilds don't really do anything like I said, so it's good, and that's 40 silver each vendor, each stack, and that's pretty good. Lasher roots are almost 7 gold a stack, thorny vines are 6 gold a stack, and these are actually, serrated petals are actually close to around 14 gold a stack, so I mean, they are the most rarest of the items, but I mean, they are pretty good. They're not that bad to get. Make it worth it, because I mean, they are 60 silver a pop, so. What you want to do is you want to make sure that this guy is gone. You want to run across here. Oops. Alright, now that we're in, this is not a new instance, and we're going to click that off to delete that. So you see him running away, and you're able to get by him now. Show you what you gotta do. Jump up here at an angle, jump over here. Careful of these guys on the right, because they aggro really close. You want to stay close to this as much as possible, or else you will aggro them. Open the door. And you basically just want to go in the library, because there is a repair and a vendor in there, so it makes it easier to go and repair and sell what you got that you want to sell to the vendor, so you can make a little bit more gold. Well, not really make that little bit more gold, but clear up your inventory so you have space for loot that you do want to keep. I'm actually going to keep most of all these herbs and stuff, because they're actually pretty good. The greens will disenchant, because I mean, half the time the greens aren't that good unless you come against something like this that has nature resist, but not exactly these stats, because I mean, a priest would want that, but they're going to want something with intellect and spirit, maybe stamina, but it is phase 5, almost phase 6, so Kuhuron would be useful, but priests aren't generally soakers, so you don't really need to use them as soakers with nature resist. And you just trot over here. Yeah, then will tell me how much I made. Made 36 gold from all the vendor loot. Just repair it. Now this vendor is really good because it does sell water. So if you ever have water and you want to get some, you can buy a bunch of water. So if you run out of water, what you're using. If you like use mage water and you log out because you have to go do something or whatever, and you want to come back, or you want to go to bed and you want to come back farming the next day, you could always come back in here and get some morning glory. It's not the best water. It takes 2 to recover the mana that you have, but I mean, it's better than nothing, right? I mean, it's something. It helps out. And when you come up here, you don't want to put on your gear again because we're trying to get back to DM East. So what I do is I just shield myself, try to get as many mobs as I can aggroed on me. And as you can see, I run out there and they instantly aggro onto me and trying to die as quick as possible, so I try to aggro more mobs. And then I'll run back in there. Run back to Dire Mall East and then put my gear on and then log out to reset. Now you want to have a party with your alt, or if someone's nice enough to they're questing or doing something that they could reset for you. But I usually pay like two or three gold for someone to make a party with me and my alt, so I can just reset. And I just have it on free-for-all loot. So that way if loot drops, I don't have to worry about the loot window popping up and having to roll for it. I mean, I'm gonna get it nevertheless, but it's kind of a pain to roll for loot that it's yours and no one else can take, so it's kind of a waste of time to have the loot window pop up. It's really easy, and you don't have to have your party with your alt does not have to be a raid. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you needed to be a raid in order to reset. No. You do not have to have a raid to reset. It can absolutely just be a party, and I'll show you how to do that. This is not a new instance, so you can click that off. Exit that. Nova Insta Checker. And you just put on your gear again. You got all your gear on, and you log out. Usually I eat, so I get full mana and full mana and health when I log back into my character after resetting. But I'm gonna show you it without doing that, because it really does save a lot of time. So you log out, log into your alt character. Once you're in your alt, you gotta wait for the party leader to get to your alt. It takes about like 2 or 3 minutes, but it's not that long of a wait. It's not that much of a pain, but it does add to your instance time. It's also nice to have your character that's resetting already in your party, but on a second account. But I mean, that's an extra $15 a month, and you need to wait at least a minute for sure before resetting when you log out of your main character, or else your account will get kicked out of the instance for resetting too soon. So there it is, party leader, reset. It's been reset. Log back into your main. Yes, this is a new instance, and you got your character back. Now, this is what I was showing you, is you need to eat and drink before you reset, or else you're gonna have no mana and you're gonna cut into your farming time. So what I'd usually do is I wait till it's about 19 or 20 seconds, and then I go to log out, and it takes 20 seconds to log out, and by the time that you're done eating and the time that you log out, you're at full health and mana and don't have to worry about it. And after you do the last run, or last Lasher pull, where I showed you before I went to go die, it's pretty good because you don't have to worry, and you don't have to die every time, only when your inventory is full. I got a pretty good amount of loot. I mean, I do have 80 mana biscuits left, so I do have a little bit of space left. As you can see, I got 39 bag spaces left. So I do got a little bit of farming to do, but I'll see you guys back when I'm done farming. Okay, so I made about 312 gold for 5 hours at 62 gold an hour. And this is what the loot I come up with. I stopped running because I was pretty much out of mana biscuits and I didn't want to do half a run. But I pretty much got 312 gold. I figured these sell for 9 silver and 80 copper. But if I cook them, they sell for 30 silver. And that's about 30 gold for these stacks of Runtum Tubbers. So I'm gonna cook those up and sell them for 30 silver a stack. I did get a lot of loot. I did get the Lifestone from this. Got a lot of dream foil from just picking up herbs and a lot of Grom's blood. Most of the herbs I am gonna use to make potions, like I'm gonna make limit lips with the blindweed and the ghost mushroom, and I'm going to use the swift thistle and the briar thorn to make swiftness potions. I'm gonna use the Grom's blood to make mighty rage potions, and then use the dream foil and all the materials I get. Hopefully I get some dream dust from the greens, and sell arcane protection potions, and maybe buy some mats to make fire protection potions and frost protection potions. I counted the gold instead of how much gold it goes on the auction house. I figured vendor price, because some of the green gear is going to be disenchanted to get enchanting mats, but I mean some of the mats are gonna turn into eternal essences, so that might bring it up to about like 330 gold. This goes for 43 gold. But it all depends on your server of what loot comes out to be, is how much you're gonna make. I did gonna vendor these, so I counted these as vendor price. I'm not gonna sell them on the auction house because there's no point unless I get some really nice. Well, maybe this is a pretty good one. Maybe I'll sell this one for auction house price. But for the majority of the time, I just been running non-stop, and this is the loot I got from it, and it's pretty good loot. It's, I mean, 62 gold an hour is not too bad. I made 330 gold maybe around, so for 5 hours, which isn't too bad. So I mean, it's not the bad farm. It's still pretty good, and it's definitely worth trying if you have herbalism and you're a holy priest. So if you liked the video, thanks for watching, and have a good day.